Welcome to yet another thrilling episode of Divergence Cast. I am one of your hosts, the least masochist of the bunch, but still quite masochistic, JJ. I'm joined by my increasingly more masochistic hosts than the last, Alex.
Yo.
And Stranger.
So,
And today we are joined by one of our friends, SK.
Howdy.
Yeah, and just a note before we begin, if episode 8 if Stranger can't get it up on his end, it will kind of be a lost episode for us. So, yeah, this episode might be labeled episode 9, even though we don't actually have an episode 8 up on our YouTube channel. But if not, you'll get 2 episodes this week.
YouTube simply couldn't handle the Wilford Brimley.
Nope, or diabetes.
Feetishes.
Mm-hmm.
No, can't handle the hobos. Okay, let's see. How have our weeks been?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been...
Oh, go ahead.
Who's going first?
I guess you go first, Alex.
I've just been playing a lot of Deus Ex and Fable as usual, and also got back to watching, or not watching, I got back to playing Team Fortress recently. And I've also been watching, as you know, Excel Saga.
Ah, nice. How far in are you?
Last night I watched episode 12. I started episode 13, but was too tired to keep up with it.
Yeah.
Is episode 13 when
Yeah, I think that's when what's her name?
they replace Jessica Calvello?
Yeah, because her voice basically, I think, broke or something. She couldn't really talk that much after that one.
And to me, it sounds actually pretty similar.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Nope.
I've been playing Plants vs Zombies. And also, I think mentioned on the last show, beat Mordor or Shadow of Mordor. And I'm just trying to figure out what the hell to play.
Okay.
'Cause I don't. There's a bunch of PS3 games I could play. I just don't know what to play. Is the problem.
Like that Persona, man.
Yeah.
I gotta get on that eventually. It's just because I can't go on Twitter without seeing someone mention it at least once. So
We're taking over Twitter.
yep, pretty much.
No longer an option. You will be assimilated.
Huh.
Yeah.
One of us.
Anything else, or is that all for you?
That's probably it.
Me, it's mostly just been anime and simulcast. So, well, I suppose it is an anime, but I did finally watch. I got more of the volume 2 of the Kill la Kill dub. So, I've been checking out more of the dubbing, and what little I've heard of it, Laura Post just does a fantastic job as Ragyo. It's just so freaking good. Her voice, it's just matches perfectly with Ragyo. And what else? Oh yeah, I just started Shantae and the Pirate's Curse like an hour or so ago.
How's that going?
Pretty good. My only complaint so far is whenever you get a new key item, it switches away from your map or your item select screen, so it's kind of annoying that you constantly have to press backwards. But other words, it's pretty much just been as fun as Risky's Revenge was.
If that's the only flaw you can come up with, sounds like it's not doing too bad.
No, it's pretty fun. I've only really gotten past the prologue and gotten to the next island with Risky, but otherwise it's been pretty fun, yeah.
I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah. And outside of that, I haven't been doing much. How about you, Stranger?
Okay, let's see. I've been keeping up with my simulcasts. I started Shiki and Seitokai no Ichizon level 2. Which, of course, Shiki has this pink-haired stalker girl, so I immediately got a new favorite character. I might have a problem.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
And then I also been playing a crap ton of Persona 4, and then also finished a Planetarium visual novel.
Hmm.
First one I ever managed to stick with to the end, probably because it was only 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I haven't really been doing much.
Yeah. How about you, Colin?
I've been playing about 2 to 3 times of a crap load of Persona as Stranger because I had midterms last week. So this week I had the combined efforts of no homework plus getting my PSTV. So I'm just like, I'm going to put Persona 4 Golden in and not move.
I swear, you've got been doing it for like 16 hours a day.
I played 50 hours in 3 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so I about summed it up right.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And beyond that, I've caught up on 6 simulcasts and marathoned a few series.
How's it feel being a filthy otaku now?
Yeah, probably. It's only because I'm bored, though.
Yeah. Well, anything else we'd like to talk about in our weeks? No? Okay, let's move on to simulcasts. So first up, Log Horizon. So what did you guys think of the latest episode?
More Tetra.
Yeah.
Tetra's always good.
Yeah. And I mean, I suppose it really does do, it really is a series that knows what it's talking about as far as MMOs are concerned. Like, just, I admit I have not really played that much of, like, say, World of Warcraft or anything, but just how well it explains it, the raids and everything, it actually does sound like it knows what it's talking about.
It definitely does. Like, I haven't been as impressed with the knowledge of anime or manga has in its subject matter this much since watching iShield 21 and how much they actually got right about American football.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does get a lot of the more specific aspects of MMOs absolutely correct.
I was gonna say it's actually sort of interesting to learn like stuff watching it because I don't play MMOs. I never really have planned on playing them, but it's neat to learn exactly like especially in the last episode, like what exactly a raid entails and whatnot.
Yeah.
But just for anybody uneducated in MMOs, it's also sort of like a learning experience watching the show, at least to me.
No, I think you're completely right on that.
And actually, the one thing I especially liked about this episode, and it's something Stranger pointed out a couple days ago, was that it's sort of hard to remember sometimes that these are gamers in the show.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like one of the more interesting things about it.
Yeah.
And I believe it makes a mention of it in the episode.
Mm.
That's something in the last episode, but I don't know.
But
Yeah, I really liked this last episode. I think they hit a really nice balance between action, world building, kind of the MMO tutorial aspects, and a decent amount of exposition all at the same time
yeah.
without overloading us on any one aspect. So I thought it was a very well done and balanced episode overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't really think of much of anything else.
Well, it also introduces whoever that guy is that's outside of the Akihabara.
Oh yeah. Is
So
that guy supposed to be Santa Claus or something? He's just wearing that red and white coat or cape or whatever, and you can't really see his face. But did he have a beard?
I didn't catch it.
I don't remember.
That
All
would
I
be
know is just
amazing because evil Santa Claus boss is the type of thing so many MMOs actually do.
Yeah.
and, it'd be sort of interesting for an episode that seems to be like it's going to just take place outside of what Shiroe and crew are doing.
Wasn't
It's
next
'cause,
episode going to be about Akatsuki
yeah,
mainly?
yeah, yeah. At least that's what it seems like from the preview.
Yeah.
That it's going to be more so focusing on the town or where they're at instead,
Yeah.
or what's going on with the rest of
Akihabara.
Log Horizon. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully they give Akatsuki some character building because so far she's like the most uninteresting main female character of the cast.
Yeah.
I'd agree. She's not bad, but she's far from as good as the others.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so far her entire character just seems to be alternating between just the whole master role play and jealousy. Like that's all her character has been so far.
Yeah, they definitely need to improve that, though, considering how much they've been doing with Natsugu in the last couple of episodes. I imagine they'll eventually get around to it.
Yeah, they've really
Yeah,
done a good job with Natsugu, I feel.
Yeah, and
and they brought him out of the background hardcore the past few episodes.
yeah,
Like he was fading more and more into obscurity last season.
Yeah, and I'm really happy they did that because at the beginning of last season, he was one of my favorite characters at the beginning, and then he really did start getting, it's like, okay, are you just throwing him in the background for the rest of the series?
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes in the show it just starts falling under the weight of just how many interesting characters there that they can mess with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of characters, and just looking at the opening for this season, it looks like it's adding so many more ones as well.
They could literally add about 500 episodes and still not completely exhaust all the characters they have.
Probably not, and I think the light novel is still ongoing.
They're all just so interesting too.
Yeah,
Like that's the thing about it. Like no matter who they start developing, it's usually interesting to find out like what exactly makes these people tick and all that.
yeah,
It has done a good job of that, I feel, especially, it's also done a good job of having a wide variety of different, MMO classes and, working it in more towards the overall lore of the world, not just having characters for the sake of an interesting personality.
yeah. That's definitely true, and like how each of the main cast is a different class in the universe, like and different subclasses as well. Like how they introduced Tetra as the cleric, which they haven't really had a major cleric character in it until now. So
No, all the healers have been, the younguns.
yeah, and uh, hmm, well, anything else about Log Horizon?
That closing keeps on getting better week
Oh
by week.
yeah, definitely. That's I'm still undecided on my favorite clothing this season. I'd say it's three-way tie between uh Rage of Bahamut, Log Horizons, and the Seven Deadly Sins closing right now for me.
Log Horizon's one of those rare shows where I will actually watch the whole thing, including opening and closing, every episode.
Yeah.
Pretty much after the first episode, I knew I was skipping database, and that's not to say it isn't catchy, but I was like, I don't want to hear this every episode. And considering by the time I watched it already, the first season already been done, so I was watching 3 episodes at a time, give or take. So I was like, I don't want to hear the song all the time, but I always listen to the closing.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess if we have nothing else to talk about Log Horizon, let's move on to Rage of Bahamut. So, did you see the latest one, Alex?
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, zombies.
just in time for Halloween,
Yeah.
or just in time for October.
Yeah.
It was it was a good episode, but I'll say that it was more of a standalone. It felt more standalone to me
Mm, Well,
because
I
I mean, besides like the connection to it does explain
well,
what's the demon girl's
Rita,
name?
Rita.
Yeah, it explains exactly what her role is,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's basically just another. It's basically introducing a new character to the series,
yeah, yeah.
and one thing I really liked about it is it kind of takes the whole typical D&D sort of module of a necromancer and raising a town full of zombies and stuff, and it kind of
hmm
makes it fun and refreshing a bit. At least I feel.
yeah.
And
And I'm actually sort of happy that uh, that guy Favreau's rival.
Kaiser.
Yeah, I'm glad he gets someone sort of like bounce off of, because it was gonna get very
Yeah.
irritating if he was just all Favreau this and Favreau that all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. Well, I'm wondering whether they'll explain what exactly Because I'm guessing she had like a contingency plan. She got bit by zombies or turned or
Well,
something.
I imagine she's a lich or something since she's been living for like hundreds of
Yeah.
years, and she still looks the same age as she was when she got the Necromancer book, which is incidentally called the Black Bible. That was a poor naming choice. But yeah, I imagine she's basically a lich or something right now. So I don't think being bit by a zombie really affected her that much. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just sort of glad that it's expanding the cast and giving
Yeah.
someone for Kaiser to bounce off
And
of.
and in
Yeah.
that episode, Kaiser was pretty awesome in some ways.
Hmm.
And I liked how Rita basically tells Rita his life story, and she's like, "That's a boring story."
But it's also like I said, I actually like that too. That they sort of gave exactly what happened. It's probably gonna. I'd imagine as the season progresses, it'll go into more detail with his story possibly.
Yeah.
But and what? Because here's the thing, I picked the. It seems from based on last episode, you'd imagine Favreau had like a part to play in his past.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. That's what second episode implied to me. So, like I said, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what exactly. If I guess Favreau might have been one of the bandits or something that attacked his father.
That's my guess when I
Yeah.
saw that, because he does, first episode he does say, Favreau, this is your fault.
Yeah.
And then, so that seems to be the only place where it would fit in, unless it's just something random they haven't shown us any hint of yet. Yeah, but personally, I really liked the part where, the knight shows up in town and it seems like it's going kind of, the way that type of, scenario plays out in general. And it just kind of, it works to kind of humble the character a bit.
Yeah.
If that, that might not be the right way to put it, but I thought it did quite a bit to make Kaiser a bit more interesting of a character.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that because, like I said before, then it was just I must get Favreau, like I must have my vengeance against Favreau or whatever.
Yeah.
And that if that had gone on any longer, I was just gonna get really annoyed with Kaiser.
Yeah.
He kept doing that. And I immediately just had flashbacks to Blaze Blue. I don't think you guys play that, but there's the one
I
character.
played a little bit.
I've played some. I've played some of it.
I've only.
There's the one character in the story that's just obsessed with his brother.
Yeah.
Like really creepily.
I've
And that's just what I started having flashbacks to.
I've only played through that one cat chick's storyline.
It's just pretty much as actually. I think
the game.
I played through that part of the story, and I think that one Android chick or whatever her name is, girl in blue.
Yeah.
Noelle, I think.
Noelle.
How you listen to that voice acting through an entire story is beyond me.
Yeah, she wasn't.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Blaze Blue has that voice acting range between excellent on a few characters and absolutely dreadful. And Tao is definitely at the bottom end of that spectrum.
I don't remember her voice being that annoying.
It was horrible.
I mean,
I think he's talking about the character I played as, Tao, the cat chick.
No, Noelle's is fine.
Yeah.
Tao's is really bad.
Yeah, she's
supposed to be, some crazy cat girl or whatever. So
I did enjoy.
How else would
story,
she be voiced?
Yeah, voice actor. She's not.
I guess my point is I remember hearing where I've heard worse voice acting in games. So
I've heard worse. Just that doesn't make it good.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Anything else about Rage of Bahamut?
I can't wait. Can't wait for the single for the opening to come out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That opening is like crack. It's like
it really is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, like in the second episode, it took a little adjusting because I was like the first. I don't recall the first episode opening with anything.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like goes into the show.
Yeah.
And then I started realizing how good the song is in the third episode. I'm like, sort of going along with it, and like, oh.
Yeah. Those guitar strings are just sexy as hell. It's like I've been listening to that opening like non-stop for about a week now. Only really pausing to listen to other openings and the closing, but yeah, it's really addictive. I wonder what's up with that one dog chick with the hand puppets. Because I
Right.
have seen art for her in the game itself, but uh, what is up with those hand puppets?
You got to have a way to fit in the fan service somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, another thing I wanted to comment comparing the series to the game. The character designs are actually good in the anime, and they're in the game. They're like nothing but fan service for all the female characters. It's like you actually have characters in rational clothing in the anime, and in the game, it's all tits and ass shots.
Sounds like I should play the game.
No, it's not that good of a game.
It's
Oh,
tough to win.
fine. I guess
Well,
I'll
that's
just
what you
go
said,
buy
right?
Akiba's trip.
I really don't understand how it got as popular as it is, honestly. Just,
I would guess the fan service.
I don't know.
If something's bad but has a lot of fan service and is popular, generally it's a kind of obvious reason.
I wouldn't know. There have been pretty awful things with lots of fan service that haven't been very highly rated.
There's varying degrees of awful.
Yeah,
Like Momo-kun.
yeah. Or those three you watched, Alex. Well,
We'll talk about that
yeah.
later.
Let's see. Is there anything else we wish to talk about Rage of Bahamut?
No, I'm good. I can't think of anything.
All right. Have you watched the last Gugure Kokkuri-san?
Yeah. Oh man. One, Inugami continues to be a freak, especially with the his doghouse.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty much the shrine of
Kohina.
Kohina.
And
I have to just say, that character is just freaking me out every time he's on screen because his design is exactly like the main character from Persona 3. So it's just screwing with my head every time he's on screen, and I'm just like, no, this is wrong on so many levels.
and then he switches gender every now and then.
Yeah, that's also like, I'm just like, it's like a weird Persona fan fiction going on over here.
And then I was gonna say, I liked how it began with the show detailing just exactly what Inugami does to annoy Kokkuri.
Various slippers.
Yeah. And then eventually he also finds Kokkuri eventually finds the magazine.
Yeah.
What is it? How to get somebody to notice you or something like that?
It's like a Be Popular
Yeah.
guide or something like that.
Yeah. And the one part that I was dying at, especially was in the second half, I think it is when Kohina wants she wants to eat the instant ramen, and Kokkuri's like pretty much refuses, like, no, you're gonna eat when I cook. And then she pretty much has a noose ready. She's about to hang herself, and I was just dying. I was like, I just like saw that part. I was like, oh, I can't believe it's like I'd imagine it's the manga, and it's in the manga, but it's like, how the hell did you get away with the child threatening suicide?
Oh, yo.
You just see her step up on the chair, like, this tiny, like,
She's like,
5-year-old
"Bye."
in doll form, no less.
That was probably my favorite.
It's shocking. But at the same time cute.
Yeah, the series is just so much of a mix of cuteness one moment and then just dark humor the next, and I can understand why I've seen a couple of people not really get into it, but honestly, I love it. I'm loving it.
I don't think I've seen any other series with like it where it's mixing so many elements of cute and just like wow. Maybe Shin-Chan, but that's a loose comparison at best.
And like, I was gonna say that's the sort of thing. This series has had some like pretty, like, especially like in the first episode when she calls the cops on him after he gets out of the shower, and then just the entirety of Inugami's part in the second episode just has. There's an element of like sort of weird humor, but it just sort of works for the show regardless.
Yeah.
And especially in the third episode, sort of bounced out a little better to me, because when Inugami first came in the second episode, it was just like he was like such a freak.
He's like, you definitely have to have a certain tolerance for dark humor.
And it's sort of it's sort of like my brother pointed out. It's like, it's obviously he's in a dog mentality that he really he loves a person that paid him attention when everybody else ignored him. But just the way it translates into how his character is like, oh my god, he's like such a creep.
Yeah.
Shines a whole new light onto Persona 3 character.
Okay. Uh, I can't. Oh, how do you get? How do you think the new character is going to play out in next
I
episode?
don't know.
Yeah, he, he's pretty big compared to the all the other characters.
It seems like just gonna be drunk all the time.
Maybe. Well,
It's probably gonna be just as weird next episode. Like whatever his, because it's probably it's gonna be probably fleshing out his character.
yeah,
So he's probably gonna have his like sort of weirdness like Gami does.
I
Because
think we'll
seriously,
have a
he just came in and just like took over the house.
yeah.
It's almost as if like the characters themselves just like they didn't know what to make of him.
Well,
Because here's this drunk guy just like suddenly in the kitchen, like
yeah,
in the dining with them. And he's like, would you let a poor old drunk guy or something like
yeah.
that just stay at this place for a while? It's like pretty much just like slowly taking over the house.
And though Kokkuri-san did seem to recognize him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Moving on. I guess you guys can talk about Guri. Gr I can never pronounce
Grisaia. Fruits
Grisaia.
of
Grisaia.
Grisaia.
Yeah, Grisaia.
I practically died at the beginning when he started singing the song.
Yeah, like for anyone who hasn't seen it yet, like the one of the girls starts pleasuring herself in the main character's bed, and then he makes up a song about her being a bitch in heat.
The first line is of what's her name, Ayame or something. It's just like Ayame is a bitch in heat, and I just died.
I think my brother actually told me about that. So I'm actually
Oh, it was
considering. Well, I'm
perfect.
considering starting watching it. I'm just not sure when I'm going to be watching it. So
So far, it's definitely my favorite comedy of this season by just a mile. It like Stranger has been saying about it. It seems to know exactly the genre it's in, and it's just not taking itself seriously for the comedy aspects, but very seriously for the darker aspects.
And that's the kind of thing I just absolutely love to watch. When you can sit there and transition back and forth between comedy and then start getting into the other drama and tragedy, all that, just at the flipper of a switch, that's the kind of stuff I really enjoy.
I'm in complete agreement. I'm really enjoying it so far.
You know, you want a shark pouch now.
Everybody should have a shark pouch or a bush dog pouch.
Okay. How did she even make the pouches that fast? She had it done in like 20 seconds. He has that whole internal monologue going on, like, should I pick something else? But it would have taken longer. Like this dialogue's getting like really witty. It's kind of reminding me of watching Mono Guitar.
Hmm.
And like I swear it main characters sat there and literally did a Shaft head tilt too. It's like another studio does Shaft. And it's just like really, really interesting to keep on watching. Like so far it's just like no question my favorite show of the season.
I gotta get on watching that then. I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
it's,
what you saying?
the parallel to the Monogatari series. Even though I've only watched Bakemonogatari, like I still like the humor, or like the how the like characters interacted with each other in that show.
Fair warning though, there's just a little bit of fan service in Grisaia. About
Just
a
a
little bit
little
of grit.
bit. Just a little bit. You know, kind of like High School of the Dead had just a little bit of fan service.
Oh yeah, Grisaia's got fan service like nothing.
Well, you already mentioned that like the first scene is a chick just pleasuring herself in his bed. So
She sniffing on dude's shirt and then progresses there, just rolling around and rubbing
Like,
herself, and it's like, oh my goodness. And like, I don't even mind the fan service because the entire show is just so good that it's
and it's
you can
completely for the
justify it.
humorous payoff. It's perfect.
Oh my goodness. Oh, and there was some censoring and stuff, so you can know that they're gonna sit there and remove that in the Blu-rays. Looks like I should collect me some Blu-rays. Yeah, just overall, that episode was just like perfect.
Okay. Moving. Are you guys talking about it, or is there anything else you want to talk about it?
Oh, who's your favorite character so far, SK?
Um, I don't know. I really, honestly, from like a character standpoint, the main character, I think. I love seeing his especially the shark pouch scene. Just going from like the cool, collected, like nothing shakes him to freaking the fuck out of this stupid scenario and just like smashing his head into a wall. That was a great dichotomy to me.
Like he was just like sitting there, just automatically answering. His answers made like no sense in the context of the conversation, and it's like, oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah,
It's
I thought that was awesome.
like dude's a freaking assassin, but he just completely loses his shit whenever he has to wear a sparkly shark pouch. That's just the breaking point for him. That scene was amazing.
Okay. Well, moving on. Have you watched the latest Denki-Gai today?
Not
No.
yet, no.
Well, I'll
Probably watching it later,
yeah.
but not yet.
I'll just say, uh, Foo
Does
Girl.
my did my theory last week prove right? That's every like 2 episodes it
It seemed
goes ape
like
shit.
it sort of seemed like it a bit. It was much more than last episode, but not quite the level of as the second episode was. But I will say that it Fugirl and Somalari, or however you pronounce his name, are just so freaking
Isn't sommelier?
sommelier. Yeah, they're just so freaking adorable together. Everything, whenever they do something, it's like so freaking cute. And there were some fun zombie stuff as well, though I can't remember. Well, there was some, yeah, there was plenty of fun and cute zombie stuff with Foo Girl in it as well. Can't really think of much else to talk about. Oh wait, there's well, what's her face? The one chick that draws Sensei-san or whatever it is.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
she basically in the part of the episode, it's like she completely forgot it was Valentine's Day, so she's basically freaking out, and then there's this little bar of like girl power or something, and it just keeps going down, and then she sees Foo Girl give the main character or whatever his name is chocolates, and it goes pretty real down, but then he opens it and it's like a melting chocolate zombie, and then her girl power bar starts to going up again. It's just it was pretty funny of an episode. Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't. Before we move on from Denki-Gai, I don't know when it's gonna happen because and it's relevant because they try to pull the girl's hat. That one, what's the hat girl's name?
The hat I do not know actually.
Well, either way,
I they
last episode they tried to
yeah.
pull her off her hat, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, just actually saw what's under it
Oh
because I
my.
saw a part of a chapter, and it's probably gonna be funny when it happens.
Yeah. I'd say out of all the characters, they definitely need to get around to doing more with her because she's kind of been
I,
a background character so far, really.
uh, yeah, like I said, I'm not sure what chapter it was. I just saw a picture of it, what was under her hair, or what was under her hat, and it's pretty funny, or it should be pretty funny when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I guess moving on. Have you watched the last Inou-Battle?
Yeah.
Okay. What were you guys' thoughts? Ah.
It was it was really Chunibyo
Yeah.
overload, especially with the one
Yeah.
girl's brother,
Yeah.
half brother.
They're uh just one-upping each other in levels of chuniness in that episode. And then that whole thing with how she got the name for her power of endless paradox. That was pretty interesting to read.
I also just found it funny how her brother tried to say tell Dad to send living expenses like this month or for this month. He tried to say it all seriously, and so he just like walks away. And it's like there's no way you could say that without sounding like some tremendous loser.
He tried to say it in like full on tuning
And also
mode, and it did not work.
one of the most like amazing scenes for me in that episode is when they're going back and forth over like taking apart the names that they have.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Like I got a kick out of that part when it happened. It's like, oh my god, these people are losers.
and how he told that one chick that can turn things to their origin, not to
Hmm.
think about or try to raise the dead or anything or try it or even think about it. And he basically did the same thing with all the other powers. And they're like, he didn't really do that intentionally. He was doing it for his own Chunibyo stuff, but it was kind of interesting to hear.
Yeah.
I just keep drawing more and more parallels between this show and Seitokai no Ichizon.
Mm.
Because the main character is a lot like Kintsugi Saki from that show. And plus, just his interactions with all the girls, just really reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
So if you like Inou-Battle, I think you'd like Seitokai no Ichizon.
Mm. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah, and that one guy at the beginning with the DS and that one teacher, how he's like,
I came back to get my lover.
yeah,
Like, ah.
and like how he's constantly being asked by girls, and then he does something like buying buy
Pick
shoujo
up a shoujo
figure.
figure.
Yeah, it's like he's a chick.
That's the character I'm probably most interested to see what they keep doing stuff with.
Yeah.
Because that immediately reminded me of Nozaki-kun, the
Oh
guy with the
yeah.
red hair. What was his
Oh,
name?
that's not
Nicorine?
Nicorine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else about Inou-Battle?
Even with it being interesting, it felt like not much happened this week.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same. There really wasn't anything really stand out from this episode.
Yeah. It felt like the two characters there that they introduced could be really good going forward, but not much actually happened otherwise in this episode, at least for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely agree.
Yeah, I'd say the two most interesting characters for me so far is the main character and Tomoyo.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like they have like quite a bit of character growth just in the first few episodes, even with all the chaos that keeps going
Yeah.
on. Like, especially that last episode was just so good.
Yeah.
Just when
Oh,
the
yeah.
main character, and I can't remember his name for nothing, he's just sitting there and trying to apologize for the misunderstanding, and that was just a heartbreaking scene to watch. But yeah, like, just so far the character building for him has been really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely agree. Okay, then moving on. Did you watch the last Lord Marksman and Vanadis, Alex?
Yeah, and I think we saw where all the budget for episode 2
Yeah.
went, or
That
all the budget for the horses in episode 2 wound up going to the
Yeah.
CG CG like battle strategy thing in Vanadis.
Yeah. The the visuals really aren't that good, unfortunately.
That's the thing. I was just sort of thinking when I was like watching that part, the like pieces they were using. It doesn't have to be like sophisticated or anything, but it's like they were using like chibi versions of the characters, and then the same. But because the way the pieces looked, they wound up sort of looking like Final Fantasy VII. It's
Yeah.
character models to me,
Yeah, I can see that.
and but otherwise I thought it was a good episode, even
Yeah.
with like the sort of
Yeah.
like presentation for the
To
CG.
me, it's the main character really is awesome, but unfortunately, due to the visual qualities, you don't quite get as much of it. Like that whole thing with him shooting the arrow at that one guy's shield and basically taking advantage of his arrogance, that one guy's
Hmm.
arrogance, and just
Yeah.
shooting at the same spot a bunch of times until he breaks the shield armor when he comes charging at him. That was awesome. And when he shoots out the dragon with the magic arrow, that
Yeah.
just he's an
I was
awesome.
hoping,
Yeah,
like I was hoping for so much more to be done to the one guy.
yeah. Well,
Like I just wanted him to straight up get an arrow like through the eye or something
yeah.
like that.
I mean,
I'm fine. No, like it's fine that he got blown up essentially, but
yeah, yeah. It would be more awesome if he was just like a really badass archer, which he kind of is. But I'm a bit worried now that they're adding the magic bow start thing that it. I'm not sure if it'll take away anything yet or not, but just by himself he's awesome. So I don't know.
eh.
Yeah.
I saw you were still annoyed by the one
Oh yeah, the
maid
maid.
maid
Just
girl.
that spot in the beginning where she's acting like just some random harem or Ichi, and just the two main characters are like, yeah, he like that one air chick with the air magic,
Mm-hmm.
the main female character. She's like, yeah, he is. I was with him for a while because he's kind of my prisoner, and it's just
Yeah.
how she interpret the main character, how she interpreted it. It's like they're in two completely different shows, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's probably his like that character's chief weakness so far.
yeah,
It's like she sort of doesn't really where like it's the show was like sort of like serious at parts, and they sort of put her in for the humor.
yeah. I'm really not getting that much in way of the humor though. It just if it
Mm-hmm.
is, it's poorly done, honestly. Anything else about Lord Marksman?
I don't know.
No. All right. Have you seen the last Seven Deadly Sins?
Yeah.
Okay. Diane is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just I found it funny how she just has like giant temper tantrum as soon as she sees him and just sees that
Yeah.
he's with Elizabeth.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, she is the sin of envy, which I was actually kind of expecting her to be like gluttony or sloth,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But just it was just hilarious to see her just like um what's the main guy again?
Uh. Frick. Did it have some? Did it start with an L or something? I can't.
Well, I can't remember. Either way, just to see
Yeah.
her just like beating the ever loving shit out of him.
Yeah. To be fair,
And he's just taking the most amusing thing is that she's a giant. He's just like a normal size. He's like a kid-sized adult
yeah,
essentially. He's just sort of like taking it as matter of fact,
yeah,
or like it's like it doesn't even phase him essentially.
yeah. I will say there are certain aspects I do like about his character, but overall the skeeviness of him is a bit overpowering. I mean, I will give him credit. He did sort of think things through with taking Elizabeth's panties to get rid of the clones that were in the mist, but
Hmm.
that was still kind of unnecessary at the same time.
I felt the exact same way.
Yeah. Like,
There's like I said,
yeah, go.
so long as fan service works in the context of like a certain thing, like say how I read Prison School or Grisaia, for example. When it's sort of inserted, like I sort of get annoyed when it's sometimes inserted into shonen.
Yeah.
For me, like especially
Me,
the
it's
one series I sometimes can't stand when it does fan service, even though it's well known for at this point, is Fairy Tail,
mm,
because it'll just like have one serious moment, then the next moment
yeah.
they have just like throwing fan service in
Yeah,
there.
to me, when if something's trying to take itself very seriously, fan servicey just plain up gets annoying to me. Just,
Fairy Tail rarely switches off that quickly, though. I mean, generally it feels like if it's serious moments, they're not going to at least focus on it. It might just be more aspects of the character design. And if there's the more fan servicey aspects, they're almost in their own episodes.
mm.
Well, you got to keep in mind, I don't really watch the anime so much as I read the manga, so.
I've watched the entire anime like 3 times through, so
So I'm not sure if the fan service really has much of a prevalent presence as
it
much as.
does. But like I said, it kind of has its own place, and it doesn't get in the way of any of the more serious aspects as far as the anime goes. So I really don't have a
Like
problem with
I'll
how they
actually
do it
use
in Fairy Tail.
let me use an example. Like with Fairy Tail, there was this one arc before the current one that they're at that they had to look for this one magic thing and like this one mountain. It was more of like a mini arc because it's sort of like leading up to something. And one of the biggest parts I had issue. You remember the one red hair girl from the Grand Magic games?
Yes.
that Lucy fought.
Yeah.
She has a role to play. She was actually like raised by giants in this like mountain. So, and there's one part when like they're like thawed because they had been like frozen because they're whoever it was trying to get like a spell or something. And there's a part where she's like crying in happiness, and they show an upshot of her breasts, and it's like the most like out of nowhere thing is like you're trying to show a character crying, but then he just inserts a fan service like right there.
Well, I mean, I can't comment on either that portion because the anime hasn't gotten that far, or the manga in general because I don't read the manga. Oh, I've only read a little bit of the manga because when they went on hiatus, it was in the middle of the Grand Magic Games arc, and I was just like, I can't stop in the middle of this for 6 months. And so I caught up in the manga there, but that's all of the manga I've read of Fairy Tail.
Yeah, I've only really watched like the first 12 episodes before getting bored with it.
It's my current favorite running anime, so I've watched a great deal of it.
Let's see. Did I have...
So what were we talking about?
we,
Were we still on Vanadis?
no, we were on Seven Deadly Sins. Any
Distractor.
anything else to comment about it?
It's weird how he just sort of got up. It's like it just like depicts him being hurt, and he just gets up at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
It's like, oh sure, thanks. Which I shouldn't be surprised.
I
with,
was
but...
kind of expecting that to be the case because he's basically showing himself off. He basically is supposed to be like this uber badass guy, and he just hardly takes anything seriously enough to really seem like he would be taken down that easily. Wouldn't seem like it, I mean. So it kind of makes, and especially when you consider how his character really is so relaxed as he is, it would make sense that he'd fake being actually hurt by it.
Yeah.
It was sort of nice to see how Diana was like sort of her reaction a bit when she was watching that. It was like sort of shocked a little bit, but at the same time she's not. She seemed like she was still a bit suspicious of him, like he actually was faking it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, if moving, I guess, anything else we wish to talk about in simulcasts?
Yeah, any of you watch Shiroboko or no?
Not yet.
I did.
What'd you think of it?
Like, so far, I don't really have much to say as far as the characters go. It's just interesting watching them try and hurry up and make anime. Like, it's very just driven on showing the whole process and everything.
I think it's pretty much just because of that that's probably one of my favorite series so far of the season. But I think the one of my favorite parts from the second episode was like showing everyone's inspiration. It's like some giant pink light, and then just like nothing being there the next second. Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they just ham that way up for absolutely no reason. They was like, everyone's getting pumped. You gotta do it for her. And then I'm just like, okay, we'll do it.
And it's like, all right, everyone get to work, and it's just after the inspiration just fades away.
But yeah, like I said, just so far it's pretty interesting insight on just seeing how the stuff we watch so much of gets made. Like you don't really think about what happens behind the scenes at the studios that much, and that's what I think Shirobako is doing a real good job of.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't remember the main character's name, the one who's obsessed with donuts. But like, she's the perfect main character to follow around because since she's an assistant, she has to interact with all the different departments and try and get everything to help work out.
Yeah.
Like she goes into the recording studio sometimes. Other times she's getting into all the like the art and all that. She just keeps hopping back and forth.
Yeah. That's all I can think of for the show.
All right. Got anything else or?
I was just saying, yeah, there's not really that much else to talk about. It's just each week that just shows more and more of how anime gets made.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the best part of the show. I like anything that sort of shows like a behind the scenes process, and it's still sort of interesting to me. It's an anime about the process of making anime.
I need to make an anime about making anime in the anime.
Anime Inception. There is actually one of the shows I've been watching the last couple of days outright references Inception. Like you actually see the DVD case of Inception in it. Like
Is that one like demon one you've been
yeah,
watching?
Azazel-san. Like it's like he has a note the in the situation that one of the guys has a note that outright says make sure he watches Inception, and just right on beside the computer is the case for Inception. And it's funny because when you consider that Inception took some inspiration from Paprika, it's like it's going back to its roots.
In Inception.
Okay, I guess we should move on. Let's see. How about other anime you've been watching? And I think Alex should start us off.
Excel
Oh,
Saga is
Oh,
crazy as usual.
you didn't want to talk about Daniken or Amagi
Oh
Brilliant
yeah.
Park?
I thought we already talked about them last. Oh, Dana. Oh, yeah. I guess we didn't do. You have watched the today's episode, right?
I don't even know there
Um,
was an episode out.
nope.
I watched last week's episode, but I didn't even know there
Okay.
was an episode out today.
Well, I suppose there. Don't think there was really anything interesting to talk about in this episode, and I thought we already talked about last episode last week.
I think the
Yeah, we
last
did.
one we talked about was the
I'm pretty sure we talked about
Yeah,
last week's episode
I didn't we
last week,
already
so
do Amagi Brilliant Park as well, or
I think so.
yeah, I thought we are.
Either way. Now I'm trying to remember because I can't remember if we watched it by then or not.
I
I mean, I could
yeah,
look at the post from last
I
week.
think we did because I remember watching it right before we recorded. Because we did record on Friday, right?
Yeah, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I had watched it at that point.
Well, I think we already talked about it though.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember if any episodes have aired since then.
No, it airs on Friday, which is tomorrow when we record today. Anyway,
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
getting
that mean we
confusing.
didn't watch it then?
we watched last episode though, because I remember watching it before we started the podcast. Because it airs
Yeah, but
early in the morning. And I remember both Stranger and me having posted about it.
hmm.
So yeah,
I don't think I'm not sure if I had watched it by that point then though.
you
But
might not have,
anyway, yeah. I'm certain you guys probably talked about it.
maybe. I can't remember for sure. Well, anyways, let's just move on since we're already at the 15-minute mark. Yeah, Alex, start us off again.
Well, an agreement between me and Stranger, which started out with the joke, might I add, had me watching his I scored list of Chu-Bra, Senshi Papillon Rose, and Ro-Kyu-Bu, and all three are pretty damn stupid. And I watched the Senshi Papillon Rose first, and I was in disbelief a lot of the time. I think the funny thing is, because it's just outright stupid. Even for a parody, it's just like really stupid. And the one part, oddly enough, I remember you asking me what my favorite part was because I wasn't live tweeting my reaction. But I think the part where I officially had enough of the show was when the cat was giving the guy the blowjob or a blowjob, and I was like, of all things, and that in my mind was like, okay, I've had enough.
Yeah, that legitimately happens. He is not joking. And it's
All of a
just
sudden,
like,
I'm
oh
interested
my
in this
god.
show now.
Uh,
Oh, I would.
Not a cat girl, like an actual cat.
Yeah, I think that would be something Deemer would be interested in, not you.
and there was also, and then there was,
David would lose his mind.
and not to mention there was the her vibrator weapon. It's like the entire sequence just like so weird, or just like so bad. It's like, man. I'm
That's
glad
all
that
for
never.
I swear.
I'm glad that is like confirmed to be just like a one-off for like happening right.
I don't know,
Is
there
it-
was a show too, but it wasn't near as funny from what I heard.
Hmm. And then I was gonna say, I actually managed to sit through the entirety of Ro-Kyu-Bu
Oh god, you managed to step through the lolly shower, dude. No.
Uh,
That was my breaking point. I just turned it off at that point and gave it a negative 11 out of 10.
oh
Sounds like
no.
me after 6 minutes of whatever that one you showed me, the trap show.
You may gotta.
I got through 6 minutes, and then I'm just like, I need bleach for my brain.
JJ watched that entire series.
Well,
How did
except
you
for last episode, but
like?
yeah.
How? How
Wait,
did you
did you
survive that long?
have you just not gotten around to it? Or you just refused to watch it?
Just haven't got around to watching it.
What was I gonna say? It's like I said to you the other day, stranger. If it was just high school girls in Ro-Kyu-Bu, it would just be another dumb show with the biggest. It's just so blatantly pandering to people who like lolicon and all that, or pandering to that kind of like fan base or whatever. That it's just like that's where the show's badness comes from.
Yeah,
And just like I said, I just had to put my head down when they had the fondling scene in the shower. I was like, oh my god.
oh god. Yeah, like that just brings it to like a whole new level of shit, dude.
And
Like,
it's like I don't know. It's like oh, I just got to that far. I was like, I think I can understand what the big deal with about this was now. So otherwise, it just sort of seemed it's like it was also weird with the panty scene in the beginning. How there's like that one girl just like shows the coach their panties and then for some reason his mother's also a lolly or
well,
whatever whoever it is.
is it? Or like, I don't even know. They just decided to make everyone lollies except for the main dude.
And then like I said, the music. If there's one positive I get at the music that was played throughout the episode, is pretty pleasant. But that's just about anything. That's just about all the praise I can give it. And then with Chu-Bra, to its credit, it lets you know how stupid it's going to be from the start. Even in the credits, like it just has everyone in their underwear. It's like okay, at least the show gives you an idea of how bad it's going to be. And the one part I found especially bad is when they go back to when she's like in sixth grade, the main character, or like whoever's like supposed to be the focus and all that, and she's wearing like stockings. And it's like, oh man, I don't know. It's like that show has a charm to it, but at the same time, it's not remotely funny or entertaining.
I don't know where this charm's coming from. It was just terrible.
Well, I guess more so as like it's trying to be charming is all.
A
It
for
does a pretty
effort.
poor,
It's like,
it does
yeah.
a pretty poor job at it.
What I'm saying is that it's like trying to, it's like just say, look at this character who just happens to like lingerie, and then just tries to take it from there. Essentially, but like I said, it just wasn't really funny or entertaining.
So it's like the anime equivalent of a scary movie ripoff.
I don't know, probably. Except it's
That's
not like scary at all. It's just like panties and whatnot.
like the entire concept is a middle school girl who's just obsessed with underwear. Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like
And it,
Gamer's Fantasy.
yeah, pretty much. Only it doesn't have enough cats
Or feet.
or feet.
Uh,
Well, we're learning all types of things I never need to know about Deemer.
You didn't know he had a fetish?
I don't want. I didn't want to. Not only did I not know, I never needed to.
Well, now you know. You can never see Deemer in the same light again.
Well, he's
I
a
don't know.
Florida.
I think I would just prefer to keep that light off.
Well, he's a Florida man.
Uh,
it's funny. He gets enough shit for liking Kiss Exist. It's just sort of funny. But other than that, I watched like I said, I watched Excel Saga, which is crazy as usual. And before that, I actually got to say, even though I like I like Jessica Calvello as Excel. I think one of my favorite roles in that show is Jason Douglas as Il Palazzo.
Oh yeah, yeah, he was
'Cause
pretty.
he has a great voice. He
Yeah.
also voices Akiji in One Piece, if anybody's familiar with that. But I also watched the second IBM Steins Gate short.
Hmm.
Those are pretty charming so far, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
I need to get around to them eventually, for sure.
And actually, now they're I think, officially being subbed too.
Yeah.
Whereas the first episode hadn't. I don't think anybody really got on that initially. I think recently they came out with the announcement. I think I saw it on Anime News Network that it's officially being subbed, so you can watch it.
On Funimation site.
And I don't know where actually. I just swear I saw that news somewhere.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out eventually. Anything else from you?
Nah.
No?
Before I forget, since Alex watched all 3 shows, I will be talking about the rest of Higurashi Kira next episode.
Okay. Oh, so you haven't gotten around to it yet?
We're gonna have to do hypnotherapy on Stranger to actually get everything out of him.
I
Is
might
that
never.
the OVA you told me about?
Yes,
The
yes,
one
it
that's like
is.
the other M of OVAs?
It's worth it. Other, it's like the Ebola of OVAs.
One more fear than you say Chibola since they're playing Persona, but
But yeah, like I'm just dreading that so much. Like I guarantee I'm gonna hate it more than Alex hated all 3 of those shows combined. That gives you just a little bit of an idea how horrible it is. I might
So in
never
other
make it to the next
words, you
episode.
should record your reactions while watching.
Oh
I'll be
yes.
live tweeter.
yeah.
I'll be live tweeting like I did for the episode of Ro-Kyu-Bu.
No, you should videotape just your reactions to it as the episode goes on.
Somehow, how do you get claw marks off the wall onto Twitter?
That is a good
I'm pretty
question.
I'm pretty sure someone doesn't want to see a half-hour video of me smashing my head against the desk.
Nonsense. People watch people playing Five Nights at Freddy's all the time. It'll just be more horrifying for your reactions.
Oh, this is gonna be the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. Like no amount of horror terror could compare.
Wait,
And just
Higurashi Kira is the one with all the fan service, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember reading how much the hatred just like seeped through in your review, Higurashi, for the Kira for what you watched of it. And it's funny,
And
I guess I already like I'll be honest, I've watched worse than what you had me watch. I'd actually say there are a few episodes of Demon King Daimyo that are worse than
Yeah, Demon King
those other
Daimyo
episodes.
was
Trust me,
pretty
like,
terrible.
and it's a bad show, but
I didn't think
it
it was
sort of
too
made it
bad.
sort of. I hated it, man. I could not take any more after 6 episodes.
Oh, so you watched the 6 that were bad. You watched the 6 harem episodes. Episode 7 when they decide to go kill God and it turns into this crazy ass shonen stuff.
Actually, like I was saying,
That series is 2 completely unrelated series mashed together. And I have
either
no
way,
Well,
idea
now I'm
why.
fucking curious.
Just go start at episode 6 or 7.
uh,
The first 6 episodes are just introducing the characters and it's a bunch of bad harem crap. And then episode 7 they decide to kill God. I'm not even joking. It's ridiculous.
like I said, I think that's the thing. I just had enough of that after 6 episodes.
I
Like
think
I
I'm
said,
going
like I
to
told
try
that,
it now. Just
I've actually told Stranger,
most of it.
I've told Stranger and JJ that my brother sat through the entire thing, and even he wasn't really impressed with it for the
Oh,
rest of it.
it's by no means some instant classic or anything, but I think my favorite thing is just how bizarre the tone change is between just comedic, not even good comedic harem to just ridiculous. We're killing God.
I don't know, but like back to the subject. Based on how much I remember you hating Higurashi Kira, it sort of fell after I'd watched those episodes that you are getting the worst end of the bargain here.
it is literally that episode is literally the worst single episode of a show I've ever seen in my life. Like I could sit there and marathon Honey Boo Boo and it would not be as stomach churning as that one episode of Higurashi Kira was. It was just oh my god. Like
I think
I would
for whatever our next challenge is, I should have you watch 3 comedies I like because you hated Tsuritama, so
oh god I hate it so much. And yet it still was just like freaking Steins Gate next to Higurashi Kira. Like no joke, I was legitimately getting nauseous from watching it. And like that's not an exaggeration. Like I was literally having my stomach churning from it. So you can probably understand how bad I hated that. And I got 3 more episodes to watch now. Yay! I need vodka.
don't drink too much of it.
He'll die
Or
of alcohol
drink
poisoning.
more. That might be preferential to finishing that episode.
Oh, absolutely. I just might as well end it now.
Just
It's
dump
all
the
downhill
vodka
from
on you
here.
and set yourself on fire.
It does sound better than Higurashi Kira.
Okay. Is there anything else from you, Alex?
Nah.
All right. How about you, stranger?
Okay, like I said, I haven't really been watching much as far as like series that aren't simulcast, but I did start Shiki and Seitokai no Ichizon level 2.
Hmm.
Which, like, so far, Seitokai Ichizon level 2 is just more of the same stuff as the first season, so obviously I'm going to end up enjoying that too. Like, I was actually reading something on Reddit that says it's a lot like Seitokai Yaku and Damo, and if you're going to like one, you're going to like the other most likely.
Hmm.
So you might actually end up wanting to try that at some point.
Maybe eventually. Uh, got so many other
Yes.
stuff I have to get through though.
Yeah, it's just like a reversed version of Seitokai Yaku and Damo where it's one male with an all female student council, but he's a pervert this time. And it's got like some really good character building though, and a lot of good jokes and references.
Hmm.
And then like as far as Shiki goes, which
I
that's another
I
horror
I
anime.
remember trying like the first or second episode of that series. Yeah, the Shiki one.
Yeah, yeah, I immediately gave it a 10 out of 10 just because there's a pink haired Yandere girl in it,
Yeah.
which that's my weakness for some reason. I don't even know how it started. I'm just like, okay, there's a pink haired Yandere girl in here. That's gonna be a good show. And then she died after the first episode, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm probably gonna drop this now, right forward a little bit.
I
Oh
I
no, no,
remember
no,
that
right now.
part.
Yeah,
If you like crazy bitchy pink-haired girls, you should give Sawagabu another shot.
I tried
Because
it. It
she
was just,
seriously, no, seriously, man, she is like one of the
She is like,
biggest bitch.
yeah, she's
That's
basically
what makes her
like
character so great too. That's
the
what makes her
most
like she is like
horrible
yeah.
person in anything, any anime ever. Like, she, it even goes as far as to saying she's worse than, she goes beyond good and evil. She literally kills both of her consciences in like one episode.
yeah, I don't know. I watched the first episode, and I just didn't find it funny at all. Like it was just thoroughly uninteresting to me.
Hmm.
But yeah, like so far as Shiki goes, I actually read forward a little bit in the plot to make sure I didn't have to drop it. And she comes back as a vampire in like episode 3, so woo! So now I'm interested in it again.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I haven't really been watching anything else. Just been playing a lot of games, which was mostly Persona 4, which SK knows a little bit about.
Just a little bit.
Oh my goodness, 50 hours, man. Like,
50
seriously.
hours in 3 days. I'm up to like 60 now.
You serious about your waifu?
Dude, no waifu, no lifu.
And obviously, Yukiko's still the best.
Oh, don't even go there.
Waifu
Yes,
War here on Divergence Cast.
yes, for the record, SK likes a woman who's basically a dude. He probably has
Okay,
a penis and
listen
everything.
here, you little bitch. You're gonna lay down some ground rules.
Oh, now
Uh,
y'all about to see a war. He's about to lay the smackdown on me.
Just the verbal smackdown IRL waifu wars.
Yeah, like honestly though, I sit there and joke, but honestly, I'm liking all the characters in Persona real well. Like just everyone's done well so far. Like the main character, which I've literally sat there and named Ragtime Benny, and then like Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, just everyone's just done beautifully so far.
Well, I told you before you even started, after playing Persona 3, Atlas to characterization is kind of like Bethesda the game worlds. Like, no matter what you think about any other aspect of their games, their characters are just gorgeously done.
Yeah, like I might actually end up trying Persona 3 sometime, but from what you're telling me,
Um,
like just that
well,
gameplay's
apparently Persona 3 Portable uses fours mechanics instead of threes. So I would suggest play 3 Portable and never in a million years, if your life depended on it, go anywhere near the answer.
so you're saying I should play the answer.
Probably, yeah. While watching the Higurashi OVA
Oh
with no
god.
pants on.
Oh, well, the pants were given. Proud member of the NPC now and always. No pants clan, man.
Just make sure you have your Yukiko Dakimer nearby and make a weekend of it. And at the end, you can borrow Gura-san's God, what was Kokkuri-san's noose.
I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like it would be helpful.
Let's see.
But yeah, and then other than Persona, I finally finished the Planetarian visual novel last night, which is the first one I've ever managed to play through to the end, and that's probably because it's like 4.5 hours.
Yeah. The only
Yeah,
ones I've ever finished were Juniper's Knot, which was only like 2 hours. The first Dysfunctional Systems, which is also like 2 hours, and the first episode of World End Economica, which was like 10 or 20 hours, I think. And that's just the first part. There's like 3 games.
that's the one written by Spice and Wolf's author, ain't it?
Yeah, Spice and Wolf's author. It's basically sci-fi economics, and I will say at the start, the 2 main characters were kind of annoying, though that was kind of because the main character, he's kind of a tsundere at times. But eventually, all three of the main characters just shoot it way up in as far as likableness for me, and it also shares some similar aspects because from the author, because like there are some sort of religious sort of things, like how Lisa, one of the main characters, is Christian and she owns a church, which is where the main character stays at. I thought it sort of felt like very similar to the aesthetic in say Spice and Wolf in those aspects. And another thing, it does go over my head with some of its economics. Like I'm not sure how if they ever make an anime, how it would transition, but I think it would be a bit harder to do since it's about stocks rather than medieval trading. But it can make it pretty intense at times, just the way it feels when they're just the tension between the characters as they're watching stocks go up and down. It it can be pretty intense. And
Mm.
and I just can't wait for the next 2 episodes because just how episode 1 ends, it just hits you right in the gut and just beats you down to a pulp. Just it's not it's it really makes you want more of the series and just the that one image after the credits just I just so freaking want episode 2 now.
It'll be the Half-Life 3 of the visual novel world now.
No, well, actually, the both of the episodes are actually out. It's just they're still being localized since they were kickstarted.
Oh, yeah, you have to play them in Japanese.
I think that it is available in Japanese on Steam as well. Like there is an option to play it in the game itself in Japanese. Uh,
But yeah,
yeah.
back on the subject of Planetarian, like, it's a key visual novel, so it's from the same makers as, like, Clannad and Angel Beats and all that. And, like, it's post-apocalyptic setting with, like, key-type characters. So, like, I would put it at, like, a mix between Fallout and Clannad. It's just kind of an interesting mixture. Oh, and the main character is voiced by Daisuke Ono,
Oh, nice.
which, like, for anyone who doesn't know, he plays, like, Koizumi from Haruhi and Jotaro and
Uh,
pretty much everyone else, also with a deep
Kokkuri
voice.
and Goguri and Kokkuri-san and Honda and Barakamon and a whole bunch of others.
Yeah, he's, like, probably one of my favorite seiyus, so hearing him in that was really nice. And it's just a really powerful story told in just that short amount of time. Like, it just gave my emotions a beat down just a couple different times throughout the story, which is pretty par for the course for Q.
Okay. How about you, Colin?
Well, if Stranger Than Make It Apparent, I played a metric shit ton of Persona 4. But I think we've talked about that quite enough. So, otherwise, I just
Yukiko.
went and marathon. Okay, now you shut the hell up. Otherwise, I just kind of been marathoning a bunch of just honestly completely random series. I just go through the list of stuff I haven't watched and be like, oh, that sounds good here and there. So in the last few days, I've watched I watched Log Horizon season 1 before I went on to 2. No Game No Life. I watched Is This a Zombie
Oh,
both
nice.
seasons.
What did you think of the
Uh,
second season?
it started out hilarious and then kind of petered off for me.
I can sort
Like
of agree,
at the
but
first couple episodes where you got
I
the alcoholic
yeah.
pink-haired fairy girl and the vampire ninja falls in love with his ass.
Yeah.
That was just I was just laughing and it just kind of petered
Yeah.
out,
I
and the
meant
ending
to
was very
yeah.
unsatisfactory.
I
So
Wait,
yeah.
wait, back up. Did you say something about pink hair?
yeah,
Yeah,
I did.
she's basically a drunk magical girl.
No, he doesn't get to hear anything about her
Okay.
until he admits Yukiko sucks.
Ever? Yukiko's the best.
His current name is Yukiko Best Waifu. He's not gonna admit that.
GA is literally worse than Fuku's voice.
Yeah, and then I've trying to remember. I mean, I've probably watched 5 or 6 full series in the last few days. I watched Nizakoi and what was this? I guess Nozaki-kun was the first one of this latest bout.
And you were talking about watching Steins Gate, but you didn't.
Oh yeah, I'll probably start that today or tomorrow. I'll start Steins Gate.
Yeah, if you get well, if let's see, if you get to episode 12, you won't be sleeping tonight.
I don't have class tomorrow. Plus, it's not like I've been getting that much sleep since I've been playing endless hours of Persona, anyways.
True.
Oh man, I shudder to think what happens when Persona 5 comes out.
You won't see me, period, because I would never go to that awful state, Kentucky. But you won't hear from me for like 2 weeks, and then I'll come back and be like, I beat it 3 times.
You just come back with like a massive beard, like down to your stomach. Like, what year is it? I've had all the waifu.
No, I actually just play it for 20 minutes and go, there's no Shie in it, and then just stop playing it and forsake Persona for the rest of my life.
Oh, they'll end up. What if there's a girl who's even hotter than Mitsuru?
That would be hard to accomplish.
Oh, and for the record, SK likes the busty redheads. Not
Yeah,
nearly as good
yeah,
as you.
they're my version of his pink-haired
Or my eyebrows.
yanderes. Oh, are you an eyebrow person too? I got this
Yeah.
one friend who's just like, I think he just jokingly says, just he wants anime girls with strong eyebrows. So every time I see anything about anime eyebrows on Twitter, I just have to link him to him.
Should be linking JJ too, man.
Just link all to JJ too. Okay, so now I'm suddenly like finding this secret underground eyebrow fetish cults to be linking anime stuff to.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man, his is weird. It's not like crazy pink-haired girls.
Well, Harry, it could be worse. It could be like incest cat feet. Like if we really know anyone who'd be like that.
Oh god. Oh, I can't totally think of something. Deamer. Oh, I'm sorry, I got this cough.
Have you ever told Deamer about Neko and Monogatari series?
She's probably not cat-like enough for him. He just needs like a straight-up cat, like in freaking Lingerie Senshi Papillon Rose.
Make them watch ghost stories.
Cerberus, the Rage of Bahamut is probably the anti-Deamer image for him. It's like just throw that at him whenever he's going overly meowish.
What we should do, what me or you or me, stranger, should do, is link him the part when Neko does the what is it called? Tongue twister.
I can't remember. The entire
Yeah,
series is a blur to me now.
Well, moving on.
Oh,
Oh,
one more thing I wanted to ask SK about. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on No Game No Life.
No Game No Life. I really enjoyed it because I just ever since I watched Code Geass, I've been a huge fan of those more heady anime that are more about the intellectual battles between characters, and so it just really kind of hits that vibe for me. I mean, obviously not anywhere near the level of Code Geass right now, but it was definitely entertaining. I love the unique art style, and I think it slightly edges out Log Horizon as my favorite anime of the year so far.
Yeah, it was really good, but go ahead and tell us the real best part.
The real best part?
Yeah, you know which one.
Oh, you mean Jabril?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I God, what were they called? What was that race called?
Lugal.
Yeah, I want a Flugel now. Like, can I just go to Kmart and buy one? Man, I
Yeah.
would shop at Kmart so much more of those for like just blue light specials.
well, let's see. Anything else you want to talk about, Colin?
Uh, Not really.
Okay.
I only
Unless
have
you want some.
so much time for Persona and anime.
Let's see. Me, I have been watching mainly two series this week. The first is Yondemasuyo Azazel-san, or translated, You Are Being Summoned Azazel-san, and Natsuyuki Rendezvous. And I'll just start out with Natsuyuki Rendezvous first. I don't even actually know if I like this series or not that much. The basic premise is kind of like there's this one guy who likes this one chick who owns a it's a shoujo series, and he likes this one chick who owns a flower shop,
Oh,
which he
actually, I looked up the genre and it said, like Jesai.
oh yeah. But yeah, and he ends up working for that flower shop, but then he winds up finding a half-naked guy in his house, and he's just sort of like, and he sort of walks away from it. Then he later finds out that that guy is actually the chick's dead husband, who she can't see, but he can see for some reason. So then it's this weird love triangle between this guy and this chick, and her trying to decide if she wants to give up on her dead husband or not. And it can get slightly creepy at times when you're watching this guy try to seduce this chick in front of her dead husband ghost. And
What?
yeah, but at
What kind of stuff do you watch, man?
I to be fair, I do actually like the main character slightly. He in a way, but at times he's also kind of creepy. I will say he does kind of have well, no, yeah, he is kind of likable at times, but yeah, creepy sort of. Just the undertone of it all, and just how he interacts with the ghost husband. I mean, it is kind of fun to keep score between them, but yeah, creepy. And some of the writing is kind of iffy. Like at this one moment, he asks the chick if she would have sex with him blatantly, and it's like she's like just the general reaction of laughing it off, and like that's obviously out of the question. And it's just like this like dark background, and it's just depression sort of thing, but it's not playing it off for laughs. And it's like, okay. I have no idea if I actually like it or not, honestly. And the other series, Azazel-san, is it's kind of both mind-numbingly stupid and kind of hilarious at the same time. It it kind of walks a very, very tight rope in some of its humor between funny, dark humored, and just no at times for some of the stuff. Uh,
Yeah. If that's the show I'm thinking of from the screenshots I've
Yeah.
seen, I would absolutely hate it.
Yeah, most likely would. The, basically, it's a comedy series about a private investigator slash demon summoner's assistant and the demons she signs a contract with, and well, it's let's just say that Beelzebub eats a lot of poop, and Azazel-san is well, he likes a lot. He's basically the representation of lust, and he's kind of an idiot at the same time. So yeah, it can be a bit iffy at times, but then there are just freaking hilarious moments like that one time, like there's a moment in the series like near the end of the first season where you just see a silhouette of Jesus and he makes shadow puppet dick jokes and poop jokes, and it's hilarious, and it's just freaking hilarious. It's like you have Jesus, like a shadow of Jesus making dick jokes, and it's just I just
Sort of funny because it seems like that would be something that would be an SYD.
yeah. But
Uh,
the,
Sounds like anime South.
along with the Santa Claus giving Suda a vibrator.
oh yeah, I completely forgot. That was hilarious in Seitokai Yakundoma. Well, basically anytime a vibrator was brought up, it was usually funny, but just that one scene in the Christmas episode with him getting that Christmas that Christmas present and just seeing it vibrate every couple of seconds after he gets it.
Yeah.
But as far as Azazel-san is concerned, I will say I took an entire point off of it just for that second to last arc in the second season. It just fell off the tightrope of being funny and just wrong, and just went straight into the wrong sort of part. Like I've never seen as many dicks in just that one episode than any hentai ever. Like just so much wrong with that one arc involving the exhibitionist guy. Just so freaking wrong. Yeah. But honestly, if you ignore that arc, it was overall a really enjoyable series, at least so long as you don't mind brain dumb, just dumb yet dark humored and funny series is overall. And outside of that, I did watch the more of the Kill la Kill dubs, but otherwise I haven't been watching much else. And let's see. Anything else you want to talk about as far as shows we've been watching?
Nope.
No? Well,
Nothing.
all right. The only news I have is that the dub cast for Log Horizon has been announced, and since it is Sentai works, I'm not quite as familiar with a lot of the actors, but I will say that it was noticeable that Jade Saxton is playing Akatsuki, and
No, I'm wondering how Andrew Love's going to be as Natsuko.
yeah, I'm not quite as familiar with Andrew Love as I am with the others, but it'll be interesting. I'm not sure how the guy who is going to play Shiro is going to play out, since
Because I haven't even heard of him either.
yeah, and really that's Jade Saxton was really the only real standout for me. Uh, and the only other thing I have is the character design for the dog character in the second, like the dog character named Iggy in the second half of Stardust Crusaders was revealed, and it's a butt ugly dog. Though to be fair, all of the animals in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure have been pretty ugly. And that's all I've got for news. Anything else? All right, moving on. Games or VNs we recommend. How about you start us off, Colin, since I sort of already know which one you're going to choose.
Well, since I've only been playing one thing for
He recommends
hours and
other.
hours and hours this week, Civilization Beyond Earth came out today, as well as the new Shantae, which you mentioned was good.
Yeah.
Bayonetta 2 arrives at my door tomorrow. So it's been a really good week in games. Apparently, this is where all of 2014's good games were hiding. But no, Persona 4 Golden, like I said, I'm about 60 or so hours into it now, and it's honestly pushing heavily for a spot in the middle of my top 10 all-time game list. It's any complaints I could possibly bring up against it would be extremely minor and nitpicky. And I spent $110 to get both the game and a PS TV, and I could not be happier with that money spent. It's absolutely terrific. It fixed all the problems I have with Persona 3 without dropping any of the quality as far as storytelling or characters went. And I can't give anything lower than a 10 as it goes for right now.
All right. How about you, Alex?
I'll just recommend Guacamelee.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to recommend this week, but that is a pretty good game. Is anybody who appreciates and the funny thing is, I say like Metroidvania, I've actually never played any like the old school Metroid games or even much of Prime.
Well, I know
when
what to
have it.
recommend to you then.
You at the
But-
very least you should play Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
At the very least, go get on your virtual console and buy Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, that both.
It's like
the problem
$8?
being I don't have a Wii U
Yeah.
or a Wii anymore, so
Yeah, I've
which I really should get eventually, but just haven't. But
Yeah,
either way,
and Metroid Other M. That's the best Metroid game.
well, like I was
Okay.
saying,
I will come to Kentucky. I will go that far if it means stabbing you. You keep saying these things.
Other M X G A O T P.
At least half of it's good.
like I was saying, Guacamelee is a pretty fun game, so I'll recommend that.
yeah.
And there's a mod on the Steam version that you get to play as Chie and Guacamole. Guacamole.
Guacamole.
Sorry, I'm
actually,
hungry.
just now saying that.
Yeah. Let's see. Since I've been playing the new Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, I'm going to recommend Shantae Risky's Revenge, which is on both Steam and the Nintendo 3DS store, and it's basically the funnest Metroidvania game that lets you both belly dance and transform into animals while being a genie or half genie out there. How about you, stranger?
I'm gonna go ahead and recommend Planetarium because so far it's probably the most accessible of Key's visual novels due to the really short length. Plus, it has like some really good writing behind it. Post-apocalyptic world with basically the main character goes into Planetarium looking for a salvage after a war that destroyed the world, and he comes across a old broken robot from before the war, and she just basically talks up a storm to him, and he finds her so annoying at first, but ends up growing to like her. It's just really good, short visual novel, and it's only like $10 on Steam, so it's well worth it.
All right.
One more thing about games. Just while we were talking out of the corner of my eye, I had the Smash Brothers stream going. Yeah, I'm already suggesting it.
So,
It's Brawl's level of content times 2, and they've already announced new characters.
Which ones?
Mewtwo and Snake.
Yeah.
and
Is there really any point to getting the 3DS one anymore?
Doesn't look like it.
And I don't have a Wii U or anything, but still.
I mean, it's portable.
I guess if you're somebody who plays a lot portable, then that
Mhm.
would be the reason.
I hardly ever touch my 3DS except for whenever a new game comes out.
Yeah, I just play it at home. Outside's where the
Ye-
people are. They're scary.
Yeah. They
I miss
frighten
my
me.
waifus when I leave home.
Hide your
You just carry
waifus.
around a Denki macro with you.
I found so many pictures online of just like people with Dakamuras in weird places.
Anyways, we're moving on. Anime we recommend. How about you, stranger?
Um, I don't even know. I'm just gonna Seitokai no Ichizon. No, I already did that. Oh, good. Gotta put me on the spot, man.
Do you want to move? Do you want me to move on to somebody else first and then come back to you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, how about you, Alex?
Anime. Only halfway through it, but I'll just recommend XL Saga.
Hmm, I'll definitely agree.
Anybody that is a fan of like wacky ass comedies, then go ahead and watch that. Just consistent, especially the one sports episode with the one guy
Oh,
with
oh
the
yeah,
huge hair was hilarious.
yeah, like he has
XL just got that.
bathroom problems or something.
Yeah, and just like, what the hell was wrong with his head too? It's like his head was like so much bigger than like everyone else's. And the one, what's his name? Beanball or whatever his name, or Bean Boy. How his hair is like he has a delinquent, like
Oh
typical
yeah.
delinquent hair, but except it's like 50 times longer than what you normally see. Yeah, if you could appreciate just like off the wall comedy that also breaks the fourth wall as well, you will like Excel Saga.
I will just advise the last episode and the OVA are both well they let's just say neither of them would ever be aired on TV ever. I'll just say that its content is pretty extreme comparatively.
So Deemer should watch it.
I don't know if he has or not already. I can't remember if I recommended it to him before or not.
Does it have feet?
No, I don't think it does have feet.
Does it
He
have
probably won't like
cats?
it.
Cats. I don't think there were cats. There is a
0 out
dog.
of 10.
There is a dog, and the main character threatens to eat it every single episode,
Emergency food supply.
pretty much.
Dogs are worthless. He needs cats.
This is true. Okay, let's see. Me, I guess since I watched it all, I'll recommend Azazel-san. Even though, even with that one arc that I will say just plain up skip, like it's episodes 8 and 9 of the second season, just plain up skip those. Otherwise, if you like dumb, if you're fine with dumb and dark humor, I definitely recommend watching Azazel-san. As far as episodes to watch, I'd say watch the first episode, then the first OVA, then when you get finish the first season, the second OVA, or no, first episode, then the first OVA, then the fourth episode. When you get to the fourth episode, the second OVA, and then once you finish the first season, the third OVA. As far as how to watch it, and skip episodes 8 and 9 of the second season, or yeah, 8 and 9 of the second season. They are just not worth watching at all. Let's see. How about you, Colin?
Well, I think the only series I've watched recently that I enjoyed that I haven't already mentioned on or have doubt has been discussed much here is a um um Satan the fast food worker, whatever
The
the
Devil
hell
is
it's
a
called.
part-timer.
The Devil is a part-timer. I quite enjoyed that one. I thought it did a good job at some of the characterization aspects, and I really liked the almost sitcom
Yeah.
style of the humor. So that was a pretty enjoyable one for me. I think the best episode is episode 9. Had overall the best humor aspects,
Let's see,
and
what was in episode 9 again?
that was the one where her coworker
Oh yeah,
took them
oh
to the
yeah,
yeah
yeah, that one was pretty funny.
took them to the KFC. That was my favorite
Oh
episode
yeah, and
overall.
you're wait, did you eat the bone part? It's just
Yeah, yeah,
that was just so out there. Like they're actually commenting on marketing.
yeah, yeah. So not a oh my god, amazing! Everyone should watch this series, but definitely an enjoyable one. And I know I've had a lot of since it went on Netflix. I've had a lot of people that don't really watch anime, just like all over my Facebook and stuff, just saying, "Oh, I just watched this randomly and it was awesome." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, guess it's popular."
Yeah.
And as for things that I haven't watched recently but are a little less popular, but are ones that I think everyone should at least try, I'm going to say Ghost Stories. I don't know if you guys know about that one.
Isn't that the one
Well,
with
I've seen it
the
on
terrible
Netflix. I've seen
dub?
it.
Or
It's specifically the dub that's good. It without being dubbed, it's just the most mediocre, boring, stereotypical anime you could imagine. It's just like some kids move into a new town where their mom used to hunt ghosts in the old school. So the entire series is just like episodes of them going into this old school to cure these ghosts. So when Funimation got their hands on it, they basically just threw it at
I don't think
their
it's.
dub team and said,
Wait, was it
"What
Funimation
was it?
that had
Funimation? No, it was Aniplex, I believe."
Aniplex? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
So they basically just threw it at their dub team and said, "Have fun with it." And so it's essentially nothing but a official abridged version, and it's some of the
Okay, now
funniest dialogue I've
I've
seen.
gotta watch it because
Now, the first few episodes, it starts out a little more mild. Like, they're still funny,
yeah.
but it really doesn't hit its stride hard until a few episodes in. And then from then on out, it just keeps getting funnier and
Yeah,
funnier.
because
I mean, I know on Twitter all the time I'm linking images with quotes, and I know one of the most famous ones is shows the kid on the phone, and it just got the subtitle. It's like, so I was nailing this midget when my mom walked in.
so that's what that was from. Okay,
That's
now
what
I
that's from.
just have to watch that because
There's also the other one I link a lot is the one with the it's just a chick's face, and it just has the subs, and these are all from the dub, and it just says black men have larger penises than either Mexicans or Asians. They're just as funny in context as out of context. So yes, it's
okay,
a terrific
it
series. It's
sounds
just,
like a blooper
don't go in
reel.
expecting just funny dialogue. Treat it more like an abridged series than you would have any type of serious anime, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a series that's abridged by professionals, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Oh God.
One of my favorite series of all time.
Okay, it sounds like something I like because one of the things I always like as far as extras when I ever get DVD is like a bloopers reel of the dub actors like just messing up or just saying something funny in context with scenes. Like
That's this entire anime. They just
yeah,
told the dub staff to have fun.
oh,
My friend actually went and met one of the guys who worked on the dub, and he just like, it's the most fun I've ever had dubbing an anime.
okay.
It shows. It's just absolutely hilarious.
Add
Yeah, I've
to
seen some of it. I guarantee you'd like it, JoJo.
add
Man,
to plan to watch list.
which show is this? Which show
Ghost
is this?
Stories.
Ghost Stories,
Like, I've seen that on
specifically the
Netflix a
dub.
bunch.
Yeah.
I've
Oh, is it
seen
on
that a bunch
Netflix
of-
now?
Yeah, it's been
Man,
on
I hope
Netflix for
more
a
people
while.
are watching it because it completely deserves it.
Okay.
I'll keep that in the back of my mind then.
Add to watch list. Plan to watch. Okay.
Speaking of which, I should start going back to MAL to do that stuff because I always forget what I want to watch at the time.
Yeah, I usually just update it just before class.
I know,
or
I know,
something.
I intend on watching Tatami Galaxy soon. If not because I heard the closing and I just love it.
I tried watching
And also,
that
I
once,
also
but
really like the art style.
I like the art style, but just wasn't really feeling in the mood for it when I tried watching it once. So I kind of didn't really finish it that even the first episode. Uh, let's see. Have you decided on what you recommend, Stranger?
Yeah, that's actually something I forgot from my week earlier,
Hmm?
which I marathoned all of Little Buster's Refrain in one night. And, like, before I think I recommended it along with pretty much everything Key's done. But the first season was just, like I would call it really good, but Refrain's basically the after story of Little Busters.
Hmm.
So it just kicked it up a notch and made it my sixth favorite anime of all time.
Hmm.
So yeah, if like you're into all that drama and tragedy and stuff that Key brings to the table, Little Busters is a fantastic series to watch. It's got some really good comedy too, great character building. It's just got it all, and it probably has one of the best endings I've ever seen in an anime.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Okay. Are there any other series we want to recommend, or shall we finish?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, I hope every one of you, enjoyed this episode. Big thanks to SK, or Collin, as we've been calling him, which is his name,
Yukiko sucks.
for joining
CA
us.
sucks.
If you'd like to follow us on Twitter, all of our usernames will be in the description or blog post. Additionally, you can follow us on My Anime List or Ask.fm if we have them, and they will be under the same usernames. Make sure to subscribe to us and share this video as well. And until next time, bye.
Later.
Peace.
Yukiko sucks.
CA sucks.